Socialism is an idea for organizing society so that resources like factories, land, and tools are owned collectively, not just by a wealthy few. The aim is to create a more equal world by having the community or state control the economy and share wealth more fairly. Socialism challenges capitalism, where private owners profit while many struggle. Thinkers like Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels saw a world divided between rich factory owners and poor workers, and proposed giving power to the workers. Their vision, a classless society where resources are distributed based on need, not wealth. Socialists argued that capitalism exploited the many for the benefit of the few, and called for essential services like healthcare and education to be guaranteed for all. Socialism took many forms. Some believed in peaceful reform through democracy, others in revolution to overthrow the old order. This split between gradual change and radical revolution shaped socialism's path worldwide. The promise of dignity, fairness, and hope for the oppressed made socialism a powerful idea. It wasn't just about money. It was about building a society where everyone mattered. The debate over how to achieve this goal would define socialist movements for generations. 19th century Europe was a land of extremes. Wealthy industrialists lived in luxury, while most people struggled in poverty. The Industrial Revolution created fortunes for a small elite, but left millions in crowded, unsanitary slums. Factory work was dangerous and exhausting, with long hours and little pay. Even children toiled for survival. Workers had no rights or protections. If injured or sick, they were simply replaced. The rich enjoyed comfort and power, while the poor had no political voice and no social safety net. This deep inequality bred resentment and a sense of injustice among the working class. The promise of a better life in the cities often turned into a harsh reality of exploitation. With no unemployment benefits or public health care, losing a job could mean starvation. The stark contrast between rich and poor made people receptive to new ideas like socialism. Socialism offered hope for fairness and dignity in a world that seemed stacked against the majority. It was in this environment of desperation that the seeds of change began to grow. By the early 1900s, Russia was ripe for revolution, ruled by an autocratic Tsar, plagued by poverty, and devastated by World War I. The war brought food shortages and suffering, fueling anger and unrest. In 1917, protests erupted in Petrograd, starting with women demanding bread and quickly joined by workers and soldiers. The Tsar abdicated, ending centuries of Romanov rule, but the new provisional government failed to deliver peace or land. The Bolsheviks, led by Lenin, seized the moment with a promise of peace, land, and bread. In October 1917, they overthrew the government in a swift coup, declaring Russia a socialist state. The Bolsheviks pulled Russia out of the war and nationalized land and industry. The Russian Revolution was more than a change of rulers. It was a radical experiment to build a new kind of society. For the first time, workers and peasants held power, inspiring hope and fear around the world. The revolution's impact would echo far beyond Russia's borders. The Bolshevik victory in Russia electrified socialists worldwide, proving that revolution was possible. Inspired by Russia, uprisings and short-lived socialist republics appeared across Europe, in Germany, Hungary, and Italy. Though most failed, the Russian model's appeal was undeniable. Lenin's creation of the Communist International split the socialist movement. Some parties embraced revolution, others chose gradual reform. This divide shaped left-wing politics for decades, with communists and social democrats taking different paths. Even where revolution failed, fear of it pushed governments to introduce social reforms, expanding voting rights, legalizing unions, and building welfare states. The threat of upheaval forced the powerful to share some wealth and power. Socialism changed Europe not just through revolution, but by inspiring reforms to prevent it. The relationship between state, capital, and labor was fundamentally reshaped. The red flag became a symbol of hope and a warning to the old order. The rise of socialism left a mark on every corner of European society. Today, socialism's legacy is woven into European life, most visibly in the welfare state. Universal healthcare, free education, and social protections are now standard, ideas once considered radical. European countries balance market economies with strong commitments to social justice and equality. Governments regulate the economy, protect workers' rights, and redistribute wealth through taxes. The debate continues. Some want to expand the welfare state, others argue for cuts to boost growth. Despite challenges, the core values of equality and solidarity remain central to European politics. Socialism's influence is seen in debates over inequality, climate change, and workers' rights. The revolutionary dream has faded, but democratic socialism still shapes policy and public opinion. The true legacy of socialism is found in the everyday protections millions now take for granted.